Hi everyone and welcome back. We're now going to have a look at training principles. So this should be interesting. Let's see what we've got on these PowerPoint slides. So, training principles. There's a variety of different training principles. We have our progressive overload. We have specificity. That's an interesting word to try and say in a hurry. And variety and warm up and cool down. So these are principles that we want to try and put into a training program. You might use one more than the other, but you might not even use one. Let's have a little look. So remember, with training principles, we have an overarching principle, and that is the FITT formula, and we talked about this earlier. So remembering that everything that we design when it comes to a training program, there's always going to be a type of exercise that we're going to do. There's always going to be how long we want to do the exercise for, how hard we want to work out for, and how often we want to do the workout. So we've got that as our overarching principle. But then there's some other principles that we want to take into account as well. For example, progressive overload. So when we do a workout where we want to try and really get the best out of it, we're trying to find the sweet spot. So you don't want the task to be too hard to complete, because you or the client, whoever's doing the workout, is not going to enjoy it and probably not going to have another go at it. But they're also not going to gain any benefit from doing the exercise if it's too hard. And if it's too easy, they're also not going to gain a benefit, because they're not really challenging whatever they're trying to improve, whether it's muscular strength or power or your cardiovascular ability to be able to do something for a period of time. So you want to try and manage that sweet spot. So you want to consider how long the person's going to work out for and how many repetitions you want that person to do. So if we're doing, you can see this person over here in the little picture has got a kettlebell, and he's going to do like a kettlebell squat, bend down, pick the kettlebell up, bring it up, and then bend down again and pop it back down. So you want to try and find that sweet spot of how heavy the weight should be and how often you want the person to move the weight. And then, as time goes on, you slowly build the difficulty. You can see here in this picture here, we've worked out what the best weight is. Once that person adapts and they're like, now it's easy, you then make it a little harder. And you can make it harder by increasing the weight, or how often you do the exercise, or maybe decrease the amount of rest time that you have between each exercise. And then once you adapt and you get used to it again, you then would change it again. So that's progressive overload. We also have what we call specificity. So these are exercises that are specific to the skills associated with your sport. So I've got this woman here in this picture, and we're going to say that she's a golfer. And you can see that she has turned her body to throw the ball against the wall. And it's not very dissimilar to how my body might look as I follow through with a golf swing. We're trying to activate muscles that repeat the same actions as you would. But obviously, throwing a weight is going to be a lot harder than it is to swing a light-weighted golf club through. So this is providing some kind of resistance. It's making it progressively harder than it would be if I was swinging a golf club. But I'm still able to get that turn action happening in the person. And you can see there the shoulders are also in a turned position as well from where you would be if you were addressing a golf ball. So whilst it doesn't look exactly like what you would do when you're swinging a golf club, this is a really good example of activating the same muscles to do something that would reflect what I would do if I was swinging a golf club. So this is specificity, working the same muscles that are doing a similar action that they would do when you're doing your sport. Now, variety. Variety is the spice of life. And what you want to try and do to keep people interested in participating and being active in your workout program is to be able to create some kind of mixture of things that you're doing. And it can be anything. It could be mixing up the exercises like we have here in our F45 workout group, which you can see is really popular, and It's a very popular program that's gone worldwide, and the notion is that you just do all of these fantastic little exercises. It's high intensity, it's good fun, there's music going, there's lots of things happening. It's pretty hard to get bored because you're just challenging yourself from step to step or station to station. So a lot of people are finding that really enjoyable, and it doesn't take that long to do in terms of a workout. So it's providing a mixture of exercises for someone, and it keeps them fresh. So good coaches will provide different activities for people to do each time they come in there, so that they are going, oh, I haven't done that for a while, I'm going to enjoy doing that today. Other things you can do is change the venue or the track of where someone's working out, so it mixes it up a little bit. They get to see something different for a change, and it keeps it interesting instead of repeating the same thing over and over. Last but not least, we want to talk about warm-up and cool-down. So these are essential. So it doesn't matter what kind of program you're setting up, you do want to make sure that you've got a warm-up and a cool-down. So when you're designing a circuit program, you still need to have a station that allows that person to do some kind of warm-up before moving on and actually trying to work out. And at the end of the day, we want to do a cool-down as well. So at the end of the exercise circuit that you've created, you want to be able to slow the body down and make sure that our number one goal is to make sure that we are preventing injury from occurring to our body. So you can see here on the side, we've got an example of a 4-minute warm-up. So some hopping on the spot, some side-to-side hops, single leg hops, and then we've got other things to do with the chest, arms, and torso and hip rotations. So it's a pretty nice, easy little warm-up. You can do that at any time, but makes for a really good start to any workout as well.